Om Namo Shivaya. Welcome to this second edition of the series of Mantra Yoga. We will just kind of look into the finer aspects of what is necessary to be understood when we are talking about the repetition of the mantra. So we've titled this the psychology of the mantra repetition of the mantra. The mind is powerful. We have not even scratched the surface of the mind. Modern psychology, that is. We haven't even scratched it. It is the storehouse of all power of the universe. The power of the universe flows through this mind. So we need to remember this, that our minds are powerful. It's not a kind of a mushy, jelly-like, you can say, substance there, which you are at the mercy of. No. Combined with another powerful thing, a mantra. The combination of these two forces is unbelievable. So the mind's powers are awakened by the mantra, and the mantra's powers are once again awakened by the mind. These two have been known to have the ideal combination. That's the reason why all religions stress on the mantra repetition. They know one of the meanings of a mantra is manana trayate. What the mind, when it repeats the mantra, that is the best protection. You are protected by this repetition. So a powerful thing like the mind and another power-packed thing called the mantra, both combined together, both have become tremendously powerful. So you have something that is extremely precious, extremely powerful. You have the mastery of the whole world if you know how to repeat the mantra with a concentrated mind. Okay. Now, when we talk about the mind, okay, what is the mind? And the mind is restless. No, but Indian philosophy or psychology divides mind, the generic name of mind, into 4 categories. So we have something called the inner instrument. It's called antakarana. Okay. Inner instrument, antakarana. So the antakarana consists of memories, chitta. Manas is the mind. Buddhi is the intellect. And ahamkara is that identity, the self-identity, the I. So these 4 functions form something what is called antakaran, the inner instrument. We know what memories are. Everything we see, talk, touch, do, imagine even, is stored in memories. Okay. The mind is in a deliberative mode of the inner instrument called, it's like, I know that I don't know. I know this room, I don't know what exactly is behind this room. I have a vague idea that it is something called an open space outside with trees, but I don't know specifically. That is the mind. Okay? It's deliberative in nature. It has ignorance. The third thing the mind, Antakaran, has is intelligence. Intelligence is displayed everywhere. And we must understand this intelligence is displayed not only in us, but in everything else. But in the human, the intellect is dominant. People judge you, evaluate you according to that intelligence. And the whole thing is tied down to the sense of I. The sense, the identity, the I. Okay, this is called Ahankara. So these four. Now this whole Antakaran, the inner instrument, is in, you can say, three states. So we have these three states of, you can say, the mind. That we have something called the conscious mind. Now you are listening to me, I am listening to you and looking at you. Ear. So the picture shows you have the level called consciousness. That's the surface of the water. Below the surface of the water is the subconscious. We have lumped it all together in a broad generalization, made it subconscious. Because there is something called a pre-conscious, there is a conditioned conscious, and there's the unconscious. So we all lumped it together as subconscious, conscious, and everything above the water, the sky is the limit, as they say, is the superconscious. Modern psychology knows things called the conscious mind. They know a little of the subconscious mind. But it's only the yogis who know that there is a higher layer. For them, the superconscious mind is open. So yoga is nothing but taking this person, the practitioner, the yogi, and lifting himself or herself into these realms called superconsciousness. So this Antakaran, this brain that you see, the brain is a physical manifestation, like with the body. This Antakaran, inner instrument, uses the sensory and the motor systems. Okay? These are nothing but physical entities, the materials. Now when you talk about materials in yoga, psychology and Vedanta, there are three main, you can say, qualities of the material: sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva is white, it's purity, it is light, it is luminosity, it is knowledge, it's reflexive knowledge. Rajas is passion, it's restlessness, it's anxiety, it's all the things that make you turbulent. Tamas is lassitude, it's laziness, it's dullness. It serves only to injure and harm. All the murderous tendencies are here. So these are broadly called the materials, or the qualities of the materials that make up the body and make up also the mind. The body and mind and everything in the universe is made up of these three qualities. And the permutations and combination is what we get this whole universe out. But there is always a dominant quality. It depends. In the morning you might have a sattva quality dominant. By afternoon you're feeling murderous, and then it's tamas. And then in the evening you want to jog or run or go to the gym, and then it's a rajas. The rajas is dominant. So depending on the day, depending on the mood, one quality of the material dominates. When you have a sattva, your mind is calm, quiet, focused, and also this is the best time for repetition of the mantra. Okay. Yeah, but then suppose when you're restless, what do? You keep on repeating the mantra, ignoring the restlessness. That will be there, but keep on repeating. And slowly, through the repetition of the mantra, you are changing your very mind, the materials of the mind, you're changing it, making one completely dominate the other. So then this is the material. So then what? Okay, we have something else going on in the mind. So we have something called the Vriktis. Okay, what are the Vriktis? The Vriktis are the modes of the mind. Okay, the lowest, the tamas aspect is called the muda, the stupefied, the dark, the dull. Kshipta is the restless, the turbulent. Vikshipta alternates between calm and you can say restlessness. Ekagra is one-pointedness and Niruddha is control. So these are the 5 states of the Antakaran. Sometimes it's dull, it's stupefied, and we know what it is. So yoga, they say, is not possible in that state of mind, the stupefied. Kshipta is too restless. Whatever mantra that you have, that has been thrown in the mind is kind of, is just too restless to do anything about it. Vikshipta, most of the spiritual practitioners have this Vikshipta, that is alternating between restlessness and calmness. Okay. Once you start from here, you proceed towards something called the one-pointedness. That's ekagra. So as you keep on repeating the mantra with a focus, slowly the mind becomes one-pointed. And then as it becomes one-pointed, there will come a stage when the whole mind or antakaran becomes controlled. Okay. That is the highest state of the mind. But controlled mind, yes, a controlled mind has a tremendous power. Swami Vivekananda gives it. Suppose you're sitting in a horse carriage and you let the horses run. It's more difficult to pull back the horses than to let go. That pulling back, holding the horses in check needs more power. So control is not a kind of a negative control. It means that a tremendous power is being employed to hold the mind. And what power? The power of the mantra. Okay. Now, when we come down to this, when we repeat a mantra, you see, consciousness is reflected everywhere. And it is reflected more in memory, in the sense of I, in the you can say intelligence, and in the mind. So it is here that consciousness is most reflected. Now when consciousness is reflected here, when I am talking about reflected, this is depending on the quality and state of the mind, the reflection either sharp or dull. Obviously, when you have muddied water, you can expect it. So on that, you can say conscious mind, there are these Vriktis called waves. These waves are nothing but, you can say, perceptions. Like Swami Vivekananda explains it. Vriktis are actually the waves and ripples in your mind, in the antakaran. Now what is that? Suppose some stimulus comes from outside. The antakaran throws out its own, you can say, vritti towards it. So there is something coming from outside. The world outside is perceived inside. So this perception is done by something called the whirlpool, the wave, the vritti. An illustration is an oyster. A grain of sand goes inside, and what does the oyster do? It throws its own enameling around it so that that grain of sand does not kind of scratch that soft tissue. Similarly, something comes from outside. Many things come from outside, and the mind throws its own enameling around it. The antakaran. These are called the Vriktis, the waves. So, what we know is a combination of the external and internal. So, these Vriktis, these waves, these ripples, these whirlpools are constantly occurring in the mind. When you go to sleep, those old memories come out and bubble. And when they bubble up, waves rise in the mind. So the mind is never without waves. Even in the deepest sleep, a wave of darkness, of tamas, runs across the mind, the antakaran. So here we are. What do we do when we repeat the mantra with concentration, with devotion? That's important. And well as while thinking of this meaning, the mind raises one form, vritti. It subsides, and then again that same wave rises again. It rises a second time, it falls as it should, and then the same wave again is raised a third time, and the fourth time. It happens so quickly. It's like you watch a movie at 16 frames or 21 frames. You won't see the frames individually. You'll see a fluid movement. So when we repeat a mantra, what we are doing is raising a wave. It dips, again it rises, it dips and rises. It's a fluid movement. You see a continuous flow. What happens there? Whatever you do on the conscious plane becomes memory. Always. Everything you do is memory. But are we slaves of memory? Yes, we are slaves. And the memories are in what form? There are 4 forms that the memories are in. We have something called, they are dormant. There are old memories that are very dormant, sleeping, as prashupta, as they say. There are some memories that are attenuated. Like suppose, the doctor tells somebody, you better stop eating all sugars. You're pre-diabetic. Though that urge for sugar is there, but that thought, I'm pre-diabetic, controls that urge. So those things are attenuated. Okay. Dormant is 20 years back, something happened. When I see a tree, probably, I'll remember, when I was young, a tree fell on my head. Yeah, small tree. You're alive. So, those memories are awakened when you see something. So, dormant, attenuated. Then there is something called shredded. Some of the memories are shredded. Those shredded memories are nothing but they are all over the mind. Pieces of it are, you cannot shred it and throw it out. It's going to be there inside. So it is going to be all over the mind. That thing is shredded and all over the mind. And then there's some memories which are expanded. Uddharanam. So remember, Vriktis are perceptions. It is you, the universe. This is your universe. And when they go down to the subconscious mind, they form memories. And memories are in the 4 states of sleeping, or dormant, attenuated, thinned. They are more or less controlled. And then we have something that's shredded. Cut, certain things are just hacked down. And there are some memories that are expanded. We want the mantra repetition to be that uddharan, dominant, expanded. So this happens when we repeat the mantra step by step by step. Each mantra has to be repeated deliberately, clearly, with a meaning. It doesn't matter how fast you repeat or slow. You have to, according to your own personality, repeat this. But these things have to be kept in mind. And then the first repetition, and then the second, and the third, and the fourth, it on and on and on, forms long chains. And these long chains will cut away, shred all older memories. It will shred some of the older memories. It will attenuate some of the older memories also. And also those which are troublesome, it will put to sleep. So here you have a perfect instrument to control the mind, the whole antakaran. And I said, the mind has got tremendous powers. The mantra also has tremendous powers. Combine both of them together and you have a winning combination, as they say. So you have these two things going on simultaneously in the mind. The powers of the mind, powers in the antakaran are being awakened. This mantra can be seen. It will be seen as it were in golden colors. You can hear the first mantra even without you repeating inside. First you will find it being reverberating in your heart, in your whole cavity, and then your whole body will be reverberating with the sound of the mantra, and then that reverberation, that vibration will be translated outside. That is the highest state of mantra repetition. Okay. So much for now. For our practice, our usual practice, what we will do is we will use the mantra Om Nama Shivaya. Yeah, this is it's a very common, and it simply means Om. We've seen the last time what Om means: the infinite, the formless. Nama is salutations. Shivaya is to Shiva. Now, Shiva in most people's mind is the personalized aspect of that Godhead. And obviously we like, we are humans and we have to anthropomorphic, that principle is there. You always try to look at it. So that infinite has become condensed, congealed as it were, into a a personalized form of that. Shiva is actually, what it means is auspiciousness. That which is so Om Namah Shiva will be the mantra. Now, you see, when you are feeling a little, you can say, thoughtful or deep or contemplative, you will find thoughts rising from deep within you, from inside your chest. You will speak also, as it were, from within your chest. Like when you sing, a frivolous singing, you can use this the area of the mouth, but things which are deep always come from deep. So we are going to repeat this Om Namah Shivaya from deep within. So feel the mantra emerging out from here, and you are repeating, as it were, from here, from your heart. Okay. So sit down straight, please. Keep your head, neck, and body in a straight line. Keep your eyes half closed. Gaze, as it were, at the space just outside your chin. Feel your breath in your nostrils. Now feel that same breath in your throat. Now feel your chest heaving, rising up and falling down. Now close your eyes completely, please, and feel within your chest air expanding and contracting. That is your inhaling and exhaling. Now with each rise and fall of your chest, or better still, with each expansion and contraction of your rib cage, of the air within, use one syllable of the mantra. So let's start now. You inhale Om Nama Shivaya. It's inhaling Om, exhaling Nama, inhaling Shivaya. Om Nama Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Get into that rhythm. The mantra has to harmonize with your expansion and contraction, with your breath. Do it silently, please. Fall into the rhythm of your breath and the chanting of your mantra. Okay, open your eyes, please. The idea is, as we breathe in and out, the chest expands and contracts. You mentally harmonize each syllable of the mantra with your breath. This will make the mantra penetrate deep inside. But remember, after months or even after years, you will be able to detach the mantra from the breath and repeat it independently. You have taken the help of your breath to go down deep. But at one stage, to go down deeper, you will have to let go of the rhythm of the breath. That will also come kind of naturally. You will know that the repetition of the mantra has taken the help of another set of vibrations in your mind. So when we come down to that, you will understand, okay, now I've let go the breath. And there you will feel the breath. You will not feel the breath. It will slow down to the minimum, but your mind will be repeating the mantra very fast. And this is what we need to attain. This is the first step in attaining the practice of mantra, your repetition of the mantra. Okay, we'll stop here for questions if there are.
Yes, question. Swamiji, I would like to know whether I can practice japa and meditation in the Vajrasana posture, some yoga.
Vajrasana. Yes, you can repeat the mantra in a Vajrasana posture. It's not Vajrasana, Vajrasana. Vajrasana is, as we know, this is you can. The only problem is you cannot sit down too long in a Vajrasana posture. It's like you keep this, like how here. It's here. Okay. You sit down on your feet, as it were, like on the soles of your feet. So this is the Vajrasana. Yes, you can repeat the mantra in a Vajrasana posture.
Okay, next. If a devotee has had trauma in the past, is it enough to rely on the repetition of mantra for healing, or should she have psychological help? Or a combination of both?
A combination of both. Because you are not yet trained to face those things. Ideally, if the person has no recourse to counseling, that person just through the repetition of the mantra can cut through the old trauma. Like I said, one chain of thought, one sequence of thoughts completely destroys all the other sequences, old sequences. But since you have recourse to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist or a counselor, whatever, do both. And at one point of time, you will see that your trauma is all dissipating. The idea is you must take something. Trauma is a set of thoughts, okay, and you need another set of more powerful thoughts. The divine name is the most powerful thing in this world. So you use another powerful tool to remove of this trauma. Yes, this, especially when you keep on repeating the mantra, the subconscious mind is also active. It brings out all these old impressions. So don't run away, don't get frightened. Face it and use the mantra to, as it were, hack through those traumatic thoughts.
Pranam Swamiji, I have not taken any mantra diksha yet. So can I chant mantras of Thakur or Ma or other deities? Is there any difference between chanting mantras with or without diksha?
You can chant any mantras. Take this mantra for instance. Take this. Take any of the mantras. You start. Later on, if things are propitious for you, you will be kind of a recipient of a mantra from an accredited teacher. So, till that time, you keep on preparing yourself, and as you prepare yourself, pray to the divinity within you to help you see the light. So, you don't need any formal initiation right now. Keep on repeating a mantra.
So there is a statement. I keep hearing Om Nama Shivaya in my sleep, or when I'm about to sleep, or in meditation. During the day, I don't chant the Om Nama Shivaya.
Yeah, it's good. If you can, if you're hearing it in sleep, excellent. Nothing better than that. So you shouldn't be. You should be glad about it. Deepen it, I would say. There's another question here. Practicing in solitude helps a lot, But as a family person, it is extremely difficult to meditate on time or concentrate. Is being away from family commitments only faster way to progress? No. In fact, we have actually plenty of time. You watch television, you read the newspapers, you do hundreds of things, you gossip with friends and all. Cut down certain parts of those time that when you need to kind of relax and so you will find make this a part of your routine. The moment you make it a part of your daily routine, then you don't have to worry about practicing in solitude. As you keep on practicing, you are in solitude. You are alone with the mantra. So the world outside is you, it's a big bedlam. You don't worry about that. You are in solitude. Okay.
Another question came there.
Yeah, Swamiji, I'm always curious about the first conscious being in this universe. How did that first consciousness happen after the Big Bang? Well, I think why don't you go towards that last Thursday's talk on the Bhagavad Gita, the eightfold nature of God. I want you to go to that and check it out. I've spoken about the whole kind of about the Big Bang. There was no Big Bang, just as expansion. And the expansion, etc. You see, where did that being? There was always consciousness. What do you mean, where did it come from? It never came from anywhere. That Big Bang which is in your mind, that came. That came in time. So we say it's 13.77 billion years. That came in time and it will go in time. That consciousness, which as you know you're talking about in terms of science, physics and all, that is a consciousness that physicists also talking about. So that was always there. So it came. This thing came, and what comes and what goes is transitory. So consciousness is real. What you see as a Big Bang is transitory. Okay.
Can you please tell the history of Thakur Diksha mantra? Who initiated first in this order? Did Holy Mother give?
Yeah, we tend to emphasize that you ask questions related only to what has been discussed. So Holy Mother used to give initiation, however. Sri Ramakrishna used to give initiation. The direct disciple used to give initiation. So it's not, they never started. They discovered certain mantras, some new mantras, and they've made it into a, but some of these mantras are pre-existing. They pre-exist the universe. These things are there in the super consciousness. So Thakur and Ma and Swamiji, when they used to get into the super conscious state, they could see those mantras, experience it, and bring that out and give that kind of a likeness of what they had seen or heard to their disciples. Okay, so the traditions of spiritual traditions date back thousands and thousands and thousands, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years. So these are not new traditions. They only energized it.
Is it always necessary to chant the mantra 108 times? When I meditate, I cannot keep count.
Oh, you don't need to. Please, we'll be discussing this in one of a future, you can say, series on this. You don't have to worry. Just keep on repeating. The number is not important. The quality of meditation is important. Okay. I understand.
What are the Tantric?
Yeah. What are the Tantric mantras? How do the mantras? Oh my God. Tantric mantras are the Bija mantras. So, Ring, Lang, Wang, Yang, Sham, Hung, all these are Tantric mantras. That of the matrikas who use mantras for ulterior benefits. Oh, please. What are those mantras? Why do you have to bother about this? Ulterior motives. But broadly speaking, there is a right hand way and the left hand way. This left hand is called, as I say, Vamachara. These give you psychic powers and these give you God realization. What do you want? So this is what it is. So these mantras, like I said, are very powerful and they can be used for both ways. So you use it for this God realization, not for ulterior motive. Because ultimately, if you use it for any ulterior motive or in the left hand way, those mantras will harm you. It ultimately is found tantrikas, they die or they become mad or they become crippled because they have misused the mantras. There are hundreds and hundreds of cases. So take it from me. Shri Gupta, Pranam, it is mandatory to visualize Thakur's image while doing japa. Oh, it is mandatory, but if you can't visualize, do it mechanically. But what do you mean difficult? It is, yeah, it is difficult. But then you start with 1 and 2, 3, 4 and gradually.
Like a picture.
Yeah, you keep a picture of Sri Ramakrishna in front of you and repeat a mantra, then close your eyes and repeat the mantra. So this gives a kind of a fillip to your practice. It becomes very powerful. I understand intellectually what Maya and Brahman is. You don't understand. Nobody has understood it intellectually. Please. It takes 12 years just to become a master of Vedanta. And Vedanta itself says it's anirvachaniya. That which is indescribable. Brahman cannot be described, nor Maya also can be described. Okay. Get this thing. And we, the Brahman, created Maya to experience. Oh my God. You don't create, you're creating an illusion. When you think of yourself as the universe, when you don't think of yourself as a body, just your body. No, now you are aware of your body. You are just a body. You are not Brahman. Okay. When you can think of your whole body as the universe, now you have understood a little of what Maya and Brahman is. Okay. And there will come a stage where the universe rises and merges into its causes, subtle causes. And those subtle causes merge into the, you can say, causal realm. That's the time when you experience Brahman. It's not, you are not creating anything. You have, Sri Ramakrishna says, you don't have the power to turn one black hair into grey. So what you create is your own world, the illusory world, the imagination world. The world, there's a world outside. There's a separate world inside. I would like you to check out one of my old talks on self-images, which I had given here at Hollywood. So I would check it out, and then you'll get into that mode of correct thinking. Can a mantra be chanting be done without beads? Oh yes, of course. Along with the breath, of course you can. And I have a limited time and I can chant. If there's any other auspicious numerical times, please don't bother about numbers now. But if you want to stick to it, use 54 or 12. That is another kind of auspicious. So Rajiv says, why Maya? Why not? So I hope I get that. Okay. Does chanting mantras repeatedly lead to dhyana and samadhi? Yes. Constantly, as Sri Ramakrishna says, japa leads to dhyana, dhyana leads to samadhi. So this is the you can say the path. So keep on repeating over and over again. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.